All right, are you ready to boost your sales? Let's do it. So there's a lot of information out there that will help you either list more efficiently in eBay or do things to your listings to kind of help boost you in search just a little bit. And I think for the most part, a lot of us know how to create the perfect listing and to really optimize our place in search. But today I want to talk to you about the 4 things that you can be doing to boost your sales that you might not have thought to do yet. Before I get started, I would just like to ask that you hit that thumbs up button if you like content like this, and please do not forget to double check and make sure that that subscribe button is also clicked. That way you can be notified with more similar content. So now, as a general rule, we all pretty much know that when you list new items in your eBay store, that gives your store a certain boost. eBay likes it when sellers are listing new items in their store, but what do you do if you have nothing new that you can list? Or what can you do if you don't have the time to create a bunch of new listings from scratch? My first tip is to end some current listings that you have early and relist them again as sell similar. So what this does is this gives you 2 different kinds of activity in your eBay store. It gives you the activity of going in and ending an item, and then it also gives you the activity of listing a brand new item. So eBay doesn't really know what's going on, but the algorithm thinks that there is a whole lot of activity going on, and that alone can give you a major boost in sales. So basically what I'm referring to is go pick a small handful of listings, maybe 5 or 10 listings, and end all of them, and then go in and relist them as a sell similar listing one by one. But do not forget to go back into your ended items and delete those original listings because you don't want to accidentally have duplicates. Now, you don't necessarily have to change any of the information once you've relisted them as sell similar. If you want, you can tweak the title a little bit, or you can change the price if you so choose, but you don't have to change anything. But I do believe that a small change when you relist a sell similar gives you a little bit more of a boost. For instance, if I were to end an item and relist it as sell similar, I might just swap 2 words in the title. That's it. I might remove a word, I might replace a word. I just kind of tweak the title just a little bit, so it kind of tricks that algorithm into thinking that it is a brand new listed item. And it'll have that brand new item number as well. Tip number 2 is to refresh your store. Now, I know a lot of us have heard about this on social media where we talk about calling eBay and speaking to a rep and asking the rep to refresh our stores. Now, a lot of people don't really understand what that means, but I've done a little bit of research and I finally come to the conclusion of what exactly refreshing your store means. So I'm going to tell you how to do it so you don't have to worry about calling eBay and sitting on hold for an eternity. You're welcome. The simple act of refreshing your store basically means bulk edit. That's it. So depending on how many items you have, you can either bulk edit all of your listings at one time, or you can do them in batches of 200 or 500. So what you do is you just bulk edit the items. Sounds easy enough, right? I know. Since I have about 1,000 items, I choose to bulk edit mine in batches of 500. So what I will do, rather than going through and clicking the check mark on all of the little boxes, I will just click the drop down arrow and click edit 1 to 500. And then if you look under that, it says like edit 501 to 1000, edit 1001 to 1500, and so on and so forth, just depending on how many listings you have. So I will bulk edit 500 items at a time. Essentially, you're just bringing up all of your items in the bulk editor and clicking submit. That's it. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to up the price. You don't have to drop the price. You don't have to tweak any titles. You simply just bulk edit, select your items, and submit them. That's it. That is technically considered a refresh. It's basically just triggering something in the eBay algorithm that tells you something has changed. let's move it up in search. Keep in mind with all of these suggestions, if you are wanting to utilize Markdown Manager to run sales in your store, you want to make sure that you are not changing your price, because with that new summer update this last year, with the Markdown Manager tool, you cannot put items on sale that have not held a price for at least 14 days. So if you're going in and you're bulk editing, or if you're ending items and listing a sell similar and you are changing the price, you will automatically start that clock over for Markdown Manager. So keep that in mind. If you want to be able to run sales, don't touch the price. Also, if you are wanting to utilize sales in Markdown Manager, keep that in mind when thinking about doing tip number 1, because tip number 1 will start your clock over again. Tip number 3 is accept offers. I know it sounds simple enough. Let me break it down just a little bit more. So exactly what do I mean by accept offers? If you do happen to have an offer that comes in, even if it's not normally an amount that you would want to take, if you can spare the sale, take the offer. Bite the bullet and take the offer. You see, what happens is, I just want to emphasize that I cannot make any personal guarantees. This is just all based off of my experience and what I have noticed. A lot of the times when my sales in eBay are slow, if I accept an offer, it's like a domino effect. It will start triggering other sales. So if I get an offer in and I happen to grind my teeth at it just a little bit, if I could bring myself to accept that offer, then it creates kind of a domino effect. And this is something definitely to keep in mind, because if you're working on boosting your sales, or if you're working on boosting your placement in search, if you've done tips 1 and 2 and you happen to get an offer, I just want to reiterate how important tip number 3 is. So if you've done the work for tips 1 and 2 and you've managed to get yourself an offer, the best course of action is probably to accept that offer to get that domino effect going in your store. Now, if it's a ridiculous offer that's going to cost you to lose a whole bunch of money, then by all means, don't take it. But most of the time when business is slow in my store, just the act of accepting an offer brings in more sales. That is why this is my tip number 3. And tip number 4 is to do any and all activity that you can within eBay. Do you have shipping labels that you could print for sales? Do you have feedback that you need to leave for buyers? Do you have any questions in your messages that are unanswered? Sometimes the simple act of going into your eBay account and doing these little things is triggering activity that makes the algorithm want to boost you. So if you have unanswered messages, if you have shipping labels that could be printed that you have decided not to print yet, or if you need to leave feedback for some buyers, try doing all of that. And if all else fails, shop on eBay. Because I know for a fact that eBay loves it when you shop on eBay. I might shop too much on eBay, not gonna lie. And then a bonus tip number 5 is to just open up your app and scroll through it. This one is probably one of my favorite go-to tips for boosting activity within eBay. And it's exactly what I said. It's just literally opening up the app in your phone and just simply scrolling through your active listings. Maybe you open up an item, maybe you do a quick revision on your phone. Sometimes just the simple act of opening up the app and doing a little bit of scrolling will trigger sales. It's amazing when it happens, and I love it. So, what is the common denominator in all of these tips? Be active. An active store is a happy store. The more active you are in eBay, the more you can boost your activity, the more money you can make. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up so that I know. Have you tried any of these tips? Have they worked? If they have, please let me know down in the comments below. If you have any questions, you can also drop them down there. Please don't forget to check the video description for all useful links, and please make sure that you are subscribed so that you can be notified for more content. And I will see you guys with my next video. Bye.